Many years passed after Ruth. God chose a man named Saul to be the king of Israel.
You have been unwise, Saul.
What was I supposed to do? The men would not go into battle unless a sacrifice was offered.
So you chose to offer it yourself?
The soldiers were frightened. I had to do something.
Offering sacrifice is a sacred duty, Saul. You may be king, but even you must obey the Lord's command. The Lord has a new commandment for you, a difficult one. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the sins of the Amalekites are great, and they are preparing to destroy Israel. Therefore, go down and slay every living thing among them, even their animals, every living thing.
I'll do it.
Do exactly as the Lord commands.
I said I would. You're still awake? Get some sleep.
Father, I hope we haven't brought the Lord's anger upon us. Samuel said to kill every living thing, every animal.
For the last time, Jonathan, these animals are to be offered as a sacrifice. The Lord will be pleased.
Samuel, the prophet. He's coming.
So Saul came to see Samuel, and he said to him,
The Amalekites are dead. I did everything you asked.
Samuel was not pleased.
What? Oh, they're to be offered as a sacrifice.
Oh, Saul, why didn't you obey the Lord's instructions?
Does nothing please you? They are to be offered as a sacrifice.
Obedience is greater than sacrifice.
So, this is the thanks I receive. I have just put an end to Israel's greatest enemy. I.
There was a time, Saul, when you were little in your own sight. But you have put your will above God's. You have rejected his word, and now he will reject you.
Very well. I have sinned. I was wrong. Now let's be done with it.
Saul, you are no longer God's anointed king.
Saul tore Samuel's garment, and he said,
Just as you have torn this garment from me, so your kingdom will be torn from you, and it will be given to another who is more worthy.
Saul knew that he committed a sin against God.
And finally, dear God, we pray for thy blessing on this food which we are about to eat. Amen.
Out of my way.
Where's the bread?
I'll take more of that.
More meat.
Don't take the last one. I want that.
No, pass that to me.
No, pass that
I'll
meat.
have the food. Give me the food. I'll take it.
More fruit.
It took me all afternoon to make this food. You could at least act like you're tasting it.
Sorry, Mother.
No one's here. Why can't we eat like we always do?
Well, what if someone did come to visit?
Like who, my dear?
I don't know. What if the prophet came to visit?
I'm afraid I have to agree with the boys on this one, my dear.
So the Lord sent Samuel to Bethlehem to anoint one of Jesse's sons
It's
to
Samuel the
find a
prophet.
new king in Israel.
Thank you.
Here she comes. Look out.
Fig? The finest in Bethlehem, I assure you.
No, thank you. I'm anxious to fulfill the Lord's command.
Then, the Lord has sent you here?
Yes, I have come to meet your sons. The Lord has a great need for one of them.
I see. Well, of course.
So Jesse sent for his sons.
He wants to meet the boys. Well, I guess we start with the oldest first. Which is my oldest?
I am, Father.
Yes, of course. Eliab. Yes, okay. This is my oldest son, Samuel. I mean, Eliab. You're Samuel. This is Eliab.
I've never seen a man who looks more like a king than he does. Surely this is the one, Lord.
The Lord sees differently than man, Samuel. Man sees only the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart. Eliab is a good man, but not the one I've chosen.
Let me see the rest.
These are Abinadab, Shema, Nathaniel, Radai, and Ozem.
None of these do I choose either, Samuel.
Said the Lord.
Are these all of your sons?
There is another one, tending the sheep. He's just a boy, though.
Send for him.
So Jesse sent for his youngest son, named David.
Now, remember, Samuel, he's very young.
Father, you called for me.
Arise, Samuel. Anoint him, for this is he.
David, son of Jesse, in the name of God, I anoint you King of Israel.
So Samuel anointed David as the new king of Israel.
Is Saul no longer the king then?
Saul is still king, but David is the Lord's anointed.
I know Saul's temper. If he finds out about this, he'll kill David.
I know. I don't know how the Lord will work this out. I only know he can. We must all believe that.
So Samuel returned home. After he anointed David, an evil spirit came from the Lord, went into Saul and troubled him in a mood of darkness.
If you're ready, be sure you neither sing nor say anything that might remind him of Samuel's prophecy.
I understand.
A prophecy?
Years back, the prophet Samuel had a vision which took him to David's house in Bethlehem, where Samuel proclaimed one day David would be king of Israel.
I did not know what he meant.
Go in now, but remember, the slightest thing could throw him into a deadly rage.
The Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me.
Phew, that was close.
Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
When David plays the harp, Saul went fast asleep.
the king's sleeping.
Good, good. Bless David. Music may be just the medicine needed, but you never know, one day to the next.
This verse came from Psalms chapter 23, verse 1. Then the Philistines came to battle. Then the captain returned to the king and told Saul about the Philistines. And he said,
Sire, the captain brings news.
The Philistines have crossed into Judah.
Through what route?
They are in force between Socoh and Azekah.
As I suspected. We shall meet them at the Valley of Eliab and drive them back. Summon all my captains. Mobilize your men. We march within the hour.
May I go with you, sire?
War is not for boys, David. I am going to send you home. You have done your service for your king, and I am grateful.
But isn't there something...
No. Go now and tell your father, Jesse of Bethlehem, that you have found favor in my eyes.
How pleased I am that you have returned. All is well with the king?
He sends you greetings, father. These are my friends, Margot, Derek, and Moki.
Welcome, Shalom. Eliab told me of you. Our home is your home. And the king, he found favor in you?
David's music was just the miracle the king needed. He's recovered completely.
Good, good. He shall need his strength. You know, of course, about the Philistines.
He said to tell you.
Boys, come out. See what stray lamb has turned up again. These 3 donkeys are Abinadab, Shammah, and, well, of course, you met Eliab before.
Yes, we did. Nice to meet you all.
Did David disgrace us at the palace?
Every day, in every way.
Your arrival is indeed well-timed. We shall have a feast tonight to end all feasts. Music, wine, all our friends.
Father, you really don't have to...
Rest easy, little one. It's not for you. Tomorrow, these 3 go to join the army of their king to fight the Philistines, to keep our people free.
In the battlefield, David's brothers went to join King Saul and the Israelites.
If the Philistines gathered at Azekah, they must come by this valley.
Then, the Philistines have their champion leader, Goliath of Gath.
It's not possible. He's a giant.
Who can this be?
It must be he called Goliath of Gath. I've heard stories of such a monster, but I never believed them to be true.
Alas, they are true. I, too, have heard of this Goliath.
Israelites, send out a man who dares fight me. If he kills me, all Philistines will be your servants. But if I kill him, then you will be our slaves.
We have no man to match him. None.
But his challenge must be met.
There is no need for battle or senseless killings of many. Let one man come out to me.
One of us must fight him. But none of us has a chance to win, only to lose, and thus bear the burden of having forfeited our people into slavery.
Come! I grow lonely out here. Surely, amongst the men of Saul, there is one man with spine. Step forth! Take counsel. I shall return tomorrow, and every day thereafter, until you send forth a warrior to meet me.
Goliath stayed there for 40 days until he finds a challenge to defeat him.
Captains, find a man in our ranks who can not only meet this Goliath, but vanquish him as well. We must find such a man. The fate of our people depends upon...
Back at Bethlehem,
We brought the sheep down from the high meadow, Father.
They sure can run. I don't know how the lions have a chance.
Any news from your sons?
Not a word all month.
Well, you know what they say. No news is...
Oh, I'm sure they are in fine health. No, I'm not sure at all.
Well, perhaps I could go find them.
Yes, I'm sure they would be glad to see you. I've put some food for them in the wagon. Cheese, corn, bread.
Could we all go?
I would like that.
Very well. But be careful, David. And remember the prophecy.
Yes, Father.
so Jesse sent David to find his brothers in the battlefield for
We should
food.
be there soon.
Do you think Saul's army can handle the Philistines?
It won't be easy. They're a strong people and their weapons are better than ours.
Sounds kind of one-sided.
It isn't. If they invade, we will be fighting for our homeland, and the Lord will be with us.
I see some tents.
It seems peaceful. That's a good sign.
Where might I find the sons of Jesse of Bethlehem?
There they are.
Eliab, Abinadab.
Well, the stray lamb returns again.
You're all well? No wounds?
No, none. We're quite well.
Father was worried. We all were. We received no news at all. How goes the battle?
Yeah, did you do a little rock'em sock'em?
Look, cheese and bread and corn. That's sure welcome.
Have the Philistines showed up yet?
David, we appreciate your coming, but this isn't really the place for you.
So we'll just unload the food, then you can go back and tell Father all is well.
Something's wrong. What is it?
Goliath came back again and he shouted,
Sheep of Israel, will today be the day? Choose a man. I defy you. There must be one man of courage in the army of Judah. What about you? Or you? Or you?
Is he gone? And if he isn't, I am.
Why does no one fight him? Who is this Philistine who defies you?
Goliath of Gath. He has made this challenge every day.
For how long?
The past 40 days.
40 days, and no Israelite has answered him?
Even though King Saul has pledged that whoever of us goes out and saves us from shame will receive great riches and high rank.
And the king's own daughter will be given to him as his wife.
Any guy who goes against that gorilla will get the king's daughter as his widow.
I don't understand why you are all so fearful.
What do you mean you don't understand?
Did you note his size?
And his armor?
No one can beat him. All we can do is wait and pray for a miracle.
He is but a man, and no true soldier of Israel should stand in fear of him.
You have no right to talk so big. You know nothing of fighting, only of tending sheep. Why did you come here anyway?
Our father asked.
You wanted to peek out from behind a tree and see a battle.
But I see no battle. Only one lone enemy who dishonors us. If no one else will fight the Philistine, I will.
You?
Yes, and gladly. But not for riches, but because he stands for evil and he would enslave us.
David went to Saul about the Philistine.
You wish to fight the Philistine?
Yes, my king. I brought food for my brothers, and I heard the challenge.
David, your spirit pleases me. But Goliath is a soldier much learned of war and weapons, and a giant in strength. You are but a youth, a poet, a shepherd.
And as a shepherd, I have fought against lions and bears, huge beasts who came to take our lambs, and I have slain them. To this Philistine, I will do the same as he threatens to take the land from our people.
He's in with the king now.
Our little David, how can he be so foolish?
He should never have come here.
David has a mind of his own.
Don't worry. You're getting upset over nothing. The king will never allow such a mismatch. Never.
Very well. And may the Lord go with you. David, here, my best armor for you to wear. The armor will protect you.
There is not time, my king. These are strange to me.
But you need their protection.
With respect, sire, I need no protection. I go not to defend myself, but to attack.
But you must have a weapon.
I need only my staff and sling. When the Philistine comes tomorrow, I'll be ready.
He fights the giant with just a stick and a sling? Oh, he will not survive.
He did against the lions and bears.
But sire, in good conscience, how can you send one so young?
There is something about David, a purity of soul that somehow reassures me. Perhaps such faith and courage is the only way we can ever match the might of Goliath.
Israelites, I ask again, send forth a man that we may fight together.
David came to defeat the Philistine, and when he saw him, he despised him.
We can't let this happen. I will go in his place.
Too late. David is there.
And he said,
What is this? You come to fight Goliath? Ah! Is a boy the best the tribes of Israel can send?
I am a soldier of the Lord.
A soldier? I see no weapons. A stick? Am I a dog that you come at me with a stick?
And I shall defeat you even without it.
For your insolence, I will carve your flesh and feed it to the fowls of the air and the beasts of the field.
And the Philistine mocked David and went against him.
It is you, Goliath of Gath, whose flesh will be fed to the beasts this day. So all the earth will know there is a God in Israel.
This will put you and your God to rest. And then all of Judah will be taken over by these, your Philistine masters.
Not upon this day, for the battle is the Lord's. I come armed with the name of the Lord of hosts, which is the mightiest weapon of all.
Enough! Let us see how mighty it is.
So David slowly took one of the stones out of his sack and put him into his sling. With God's help, David aimed the stone to the giant and struck him on his forehead. And he fell straight to the ground. David ran to the giant, and he took his sword and sliced his head off. The Israelites chase after the Philistines and fight.
David, you did it! You did it! Victory is ours!
And David had success in all his undertakings, for the Lord was with him. And when King Saul saw that he had great success, he stood in awe of him.
Margot, Loki, come on. We have a long way to go.